What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at this, a 2023 or 2022 Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the new generation, and it is glorious. This, if you ask me, this is the one you need to have. This is an S580, which means you've got the 4-liter V8 bi-turbo with 503 horsepower and 700 newton meters. It is just so amazing, torquey, it sounds good, it's amazingly comfortable, and it is for sale at Thijs Timmermans. So big thanks for letting us have a go in your car again. If you're interested in this or any other S-Class, Thijs always has a lot of them in stock. He had like 5 S63s available, which were super hard to get. So if you're interested, go check out his website. I'll link it in the description. Today we're going to drive this beautiful obsidian black car. It's been almost murdered out. It still has a bit of chrome in the grille and it still has light wheels, but other than that everything is black. We even have this black chrome Mercedes star at the front. So yeah, quite a dark spec with an AMG line pack. So that means you get these 21-inch wheels with Pirelli P0s around them, 255 at the front. Quite a big brake disc as well. Behind that, perforated. We've got air suspension, of course, black window surrounds, privacy glass, and then 285 tires at the rear. Let's take a look at the rear seat, because this is so nice. So this is a long wheelbase version, and that means that I can sit behind myself properly. This seat is, you can see that it is very far back, so this is seriously impressive. You can see that this has even more space. And we've got this gray interior, which I really like. It's not as like easily contaminated as a beige or white interior, but it still has that light and airy feeling. Quite like that, especially with this light gray headliner. The Burmester high-end 4D audio system also has that. And just look at the design here. I think Mercedes is doing such a good job recently. The speakers, the doors. Of course, you can also adjust the seat in front of you, and you have these nice pillows, and then you can just lounge a little bit, give yourself some space, and then adjust your own seat as well, like that. Yeah, like that. So very nice. It is a good way to like contemplate and just be pampered by the car. It's a very nice feeling, actually. Every time I drive an S-Class, I feel that way. I feel like even more than in the 7 Series, an S-Class feels like it's been built to accommodate you, to make sure that you are able to relax and just have a moment to yourself. So, engine-wise, as I said, we've got that 4-liter V8 bi-turbo. And well, this is like a regular non-AMG version of the V8, which means it is just very suitable for an S-Class, if you ask me. The S63, of course, the E-Performance now has a lot more power. It is crazy quick and super high-tech, but you also have to take all that weight with you, and it feels very like complicated. This feels more simple. This feels more just, you know, big S-Class, big V8. It just works. It works really well. So before I forget, 503 horsepower, as I said, 700 newton meters, but this car has a BRABUS Power Extra box, so a tuning box, which adds 47 horsepower and 50 newton meters. So this car actually has 550 horsepower and 750 newton meters of torque, which is very nice. Other engines include S400 and S450 diesel, which is a 3-liter inline 6. We've got an S500 with a petrol inline 6 and an S580E, which unfortunately is also a petrol 6 hybrid. So we're definitely going to try most or all of these drivetrains because I'm really curious to see what that feels like. Especially those diesels, I think that always works really well in an S-Class. So, behind the wheel we've got 2 screens and a massive head-up display as well. And if we engage everything, you can see the system. It's not the easiest system to operate. You have to get used to it a bit, but at least you've got your climate stuff right there. And they do have like shortcuts. You can hit that button for some of the most used features. So it is not the most user-friendly system, but you do get used to it. Design-wise, I think this is so nice. It feels very, very luxurious. As you can hear, I started up the car, but this is a 48 volt mild hybrid. You can see the EQ charge there on the rev counter. So that means that this is a mild hybrid, which adds 21 horsepower or something like that. But that is mainly that starter generator, and it just fills in the gaps basically. It's not like you add that horsepower to the total. So let's have a little drive. We're in comfort mode right now, and oh my god. This is why we love V8s. It works so well in this car. The suspension, the body control is mega, so the car moves around quite a bit. It's like floating around, but it's not annoying. It almost feels magnetic, like it feels like it moves once and then is completely dead. It's so good. In comfort mode, I just love that. And the car also moves when you give it a little bit of throttle or brake, which I also really like. So if you do like that, give it a bit of power. Yeah, that nose raises. I love that so much. That is one of the most mighty feelings you get in a car. When that front raises up, you know you're driving a V8. So if we hit this button right there, we can go to Sport Plus, which tightens up everything. And again, you know, it is still an S-Class, so it's not super sporty or anything, but you can definitely feel the difference in body control. It stays a lot flatter and it responds a bit more directly. Sound wise, I do think that they are pumping some fake sound into the cabin, because there's not a lot of exhaust sound, and I feel like if you have the windows closed and you put your foot down, I think some of that is fake, but I don't mind it. It's very, very good if it is fake. I'm even not sure. So that is a good thing. If you have to question it, it means it's either real or they did a really good job. Oh, lovely. So stock 4.4 seconds with this BRABUS tune, 4.2 claimed. Which is, you know, it's a nice little bump. It's not a crazy tune or anything, it's just a little bump. So let's hit the Autobahn. I mean, this has to be one of the best Autobahn cars we've driven this year. We've driven a lot of really good like Autobahn cruisers, but this has to be up there. Let's keep it in Sport Plus. Picks up nicely there. Have to say, the tune feels really good. I have not felt a single weird hiccup or something like that from this tuning box. Top speed 250 kilometers an hour. That is unchanged, of course. And you do feel more in Sport Plus, like these ridges. They're definitely more noticeable. So let's go to comfort. That's the limiter, 255. Let's do that for a while. Just enjoy that. I mean, that is a shame. 250 kilometers an hour. It's not really straining itself at this point. 3,000 RPM in 9th gear. So we've got the 9G-tronic gearbox, which suits the car really well. Thank you. So 100 to 200, we also measured that, and the car did a 977, which checks out. It's faster than a 2009 S63, so at least you're faster than that old AMG. It's a perfectly good result, I would say. It's a quick car. It's not super fast, but it's quick enough, and it's more like the way it delivers that power. So the effortless performance, that really gets me. I love that. It feels like the perfect amount of power from this V8 for this car. Like, it's fast, it's properly fast when you put your foot down, but most of the time you ride that torque and it just feels like it has so much power left, which is just a great feeling, that invincible feeling. I love that. In the meantime, Martijn is getting pampered there in the rear. He's super comfy. I'm super comfy here. This is such a good car. I love the new S-Class. It's amazing. Now, we of course in Europe don't get a V8 7 Series anymore. So if you want to look at a BMW that's comparable to this, you'd be looking at an M760E, I think. But this is also a bit quicker than that car. And you have a V8. I think that is just unbeatable these days. So still, after all these years, the S-Class always used to be like top of the bill. It used to be the car that everyone looked at, and I always understood that in a technological sense and in a safety feature sense. I mean, airbags and double glazed windows. S-Class was first with that, but I never really got the appeal when I was younger. I always looked at other things, you know. But now I'm aging, and
rapidly.
I'm aging rapidly. Yes, it's going very quickly, but I get it now. I get the S-Class, and I think it's such a good car. And even now, with all this tech, with all these screens, it's not what stays with me when I leave the car. This like easy powertrain, the amazing suspension setup, the quietness, that's what stays with you. The invincible feeling, that king of the road feeling, you have that in an S-Class, more so than in a 7 Series, I think. Of course, the 7 Series handles better. A8, I don't know how I feel about comparing that to these two, because it's a bit old now, but yeah, S-Class 7 Series is very close. But I'm team S-Class now. Team S-Class all the way. I think they are executing this perfectly, and I think that they are doing that with the E-Class as well, comparing that to a 5 Series. Yeah, I think they're doing a good job. So, amazing spec. This car, it is for sale at Thijs Timmermans, as I said. Go check it out if you're interested. He always has a few, so if you want a different spec or something, maybe he has something for you as well. I'm going to end it here. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I want an S-Class, I really do. I'm getting really old. I think my mental age is even further. So yeah, if you want, you can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can check out this video or this playlist. We'll do a little run here, and then we'll call it a day. Bring the car back to Thijs. There we are. That's the limiter again. No fuss. Amazing. See you at the next one, guys.